people. Welcome to another live episode of Wisdom Wednesday. I'm here, the butterfly with Mr. Epic. Y'all know it. He can't call it because he might spoil it, and he
There
usually
you go.
does. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm good. I'm real good as I'm drinking on
What do we?
my.
What mug do we have today?
This one is Java juice,
Java
but
juice.
this is my regular ginger and lemon tea.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
All right. Well, we're back, you guys. This one's going to be interesting because, as you know, Wisdom Wednesday, and this Wednesday we're talking about wisdom itself. So
mm,
I'm just going to jump right into it. Well, maybe not. Let's before we jump right into the verses that I'm going to talk about, and there's a lot, but I'm going to kind of water it down for a couple of reasons. It is so deep. And I was just telling Trent, the more I read, the deeper it gets. So I get a little bit of overwhelmness and trying to find my way through it. So I'm going to encourage you guys, study wisdom. Google, search verses on wisdom and study it. It is so important, so important. But Trent and I was just talking about life, how quickly life can change at the
yes,
blink of an eye, sometimes before that, whether it's by death, losing someone that you dearly love and you've become accustomed to seeing and loving on. Um, but also to include the way that we know life. For Trent, it was a stroke, right? And life changed. Thank God it didn't happen to him, it happened for him, right? And that's a deep statement, but you have to internalize that for yourself in whatever situation that is your thing, like whatever you've gone through or maybe going through now. Grow through
right,
it, because I believe there's nothing that God allows us to go through that he does not grow through it with us, and that he's not allowing it. There's purpose in it. I'll say that nothing is
right.
wasted in
You
this
know,
fight we have to do daily. Go ahead.
it's interesting that you say that because I'm always saying that it didn't happen to me, it happened for me. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason why this recovery has been so successful, in my opinion, um, I woke up every morning with gratitude,
Mm.
thanking God for this opportunity for change. So that's the only way I got over it. As we were just talking before we
Right.
went
Right.
live here, I lost everything in a matter of 2 months. And
Mm.
then, boom, bleed on the brain. You know, everything was simultaneously back to back. And the reason why I survived because
Mm.
one, for the encounter with the divine, two, for the gratitude. I wake up thankful every single morning for him sustaining my life. And when you walk with gratitude and thankfulness in any situation, you're gonna see that light on the other side of that tunnel. I guarantee you. So
Mm.
that was the key component to the recovery for me. Gratitude.
You made me think about something here. The way that we handle, because we were just talking about what kind of led you to that moment,
Hmm.
and it was the death happening. For yours, it was death happening. Wow, in about what 3 6 month span, something like that.
Now, the death was 2 months and 10 days apart.
2 months, three. Okay, so I'm closer to the three. Um, and your I guess and you're trying to process it and deal with it.
Yeah.
You chose to do what? What kept you going?
I chose to
How did you see yourself
medicate
getting through it?
myself with, as far as before the bleed,
Yes. What kind of contributed to? I know the stress, but
that
also
what kind of contributed to it. I was
the
drinking 4 bottles of
alcohol.
Chardonnay
Right.
a day.
Right.
I didn't say
Right.
4 glasses, 4 bottles of Chardonnay a day. You got nine
Wow.
glasses in one bottle.
And
So
so,
you guys do the
as
math.
we talk about wisdom, And on this side of it, you've learned how to cope. There's that song, I learned that I could make it. I learned that I could get through.
That's right.
And sometimes you feel like, but they just don't want to know. I can't, Mr. Williams, I think the last name is. But on this side of it, you have more wisdom and you would not choose, you would not make those choices to drink your way through it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So wisdom, you guys, let's just jump into it. Let's just jump into it. Um, is a divine gift that must be sought through. Let's start with that. Prayer, studying scripture, and leaning on the guidance of the Holy Spirit. The pure definition of it is the practical ability to discern right from wrong. And we read this last week, to discern right from wrong and apply. There's
Absolutely.
sometimes where we get stuck and apply God's truth to everyday life and decisions. So discern. For the most part, I think we get it. Like we have discernment. I really do. It's just in our choosing. We get
Right.
stuck and hung up in choosing to feed the ego,
Right.
to justify the lie to ourselves, I'll say, so that we could do what we want to do.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I
there's some,
believe
go ahead.
I said that maybe a couple episodes back about discernment. Everyone has it. We just have to tap into
You
it.
believe that too?
Oh,
Everyone has it.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
really do. I think we were born with it, and in some degree, and that goes back to being more childlike, but not childish as we grow. Because you
Right.
look at children, how they approach um, life, and how I was telling. Oh my gosh, I was telling Trent the other day, my granddaughter. This has been coming, just feeding through my head because she told me. I was telling her. That it kind of breaks my heart to see her growing up so
Right.
quickly. And I said, it kind of, just kind of makes me feel some kind of way. And she said, why do you feel some kind of way about me growing up? And I said, because pretty soon I won't be able to say, hey, come go with me for a few hours because you're going to have something to do, somewhere to go.
Right.
She says, Grandma, do you even think you're going to be around by then?
Mm.
Meaning alive.
Right.
And so I was like, well, I sure hope so. And I'm looking at her kind of funny. She said, well, I hope you do too, Grandma, but you are getting older. I can tell you are getting
That's
older.
funny.
But a couple of things in that also blesses me, right? It makes me think about that whole thing of me not being here, right? Because I'm
Right.
not gonna be here, right? One day I won't be here. But also because she's experienced death at an early age, she looks at death differently. But I also think she looks at it differently because we're trying to teach them differently. Nothing
Right.
belongs to you, nobody, right?
I know.
So I do believe we are all born with it. It's just how we get to the point to where we can make wise decisions. We can discern and have enough understanding to know what's good for us, what's God's perfect will. And that's what's good for us. God's perfect will, not ours. And that is wisdom. That is being able to choose not to follow your feelings, your emotions,
Right.
and to say, in Trent's case, hey, I'm not going to drink this. I'm going to get through this, but I'm not
Exactly.
going to drink through this.
Absolutely.
My
Absolutely.
addiction was something else. I had a lot of addictions. My son told me, I'm so glad you didn't do drugs because you have an addictive spirit. I
Right.
get hold of something, I attach to it. But wisdom is teaching me to step back and not get so caught up because I mean, in my own life, my family, I won't go out of respect for my cousin, I won't go too deep in it, but we just lost one of our young family members.
Right.
Young, young, gone in the blink of an eye. So nothing belongs to us, and we got to make the right choices because we don't know when the right choice or the wrong choice may be the last choice.
That's right.
Over to you, Trent.
This is totally off topic here. I got a call. I received a call from my cousin who used to stay with my mother when I go out on tour, on the conversation tours, right? And she called me, and I hadn't heard from her. And I'm talking about since Nan and Greg passed. We're talking like 19, like 2018, something
Hey,
like that.
Trent, I'm sorry, Big Al says, good morning.
What up,
Good
Al
morning.
Zal? What up, Al Zal? I
Sorry,
see you
I
at the
just wanted to
gym.
let you know he's out there.
Yeah. So her name was Angela, and she called me because she saw a promo from Wisdom Wednesday and broke my heart. And she said, "Hey, cousin, say what's going on? How you doing?" And I hadn't talked to her. She said, "Who's that lady you're doing a podcast with?" And it kind of confused me because she know you. I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "That's Tammy." She says, "Tammy." So she was FaceTiming me, and I noticed it was something different about her. She lost her mother, her father, her brother, just
Mm.
like I lost with Nan and Greg simultaneously. And it dawned on me as I was talking to her and trying to remind her of things and other stuff. She had a nervous breakdown
Mm.
and lost her mind. And she's in a home now. She's not at her home, but she's in a facility. And she couldn't even remember how long she had been there. And I had to remind her who you were. She said, "Oh, I remember Tammy. That's I used to go to Tammy's a minute." Yeah. And it broke my heart. I tried so hard to keep it together because it was breaking me hearing her and seeing her that way.
Where does she live, Trent?
She's here in New Orleans. She's
Okay.
here in New Orleans. And I mean, it broke my heart, man. It broke my heart. I just thought about that when how life just happens all of a sudden.
Yeah, yeah.
The
And
sweetest person. Go ahead.
something else that I think contributes to that, you guys, is we are not people. People are not, we're not who we should be. We're not who
Right.
we were created to be, right? So the battle, and I'm saying, not saying for Miss Angela by any means, just as a whole. When you think about death, usually death should bring us closer. You think about what happens with you internalizing it, just being able to internalize it and sit. But how many people can say when death happens that the connection, the family comes together, rather than start thinking about who's
Right.
going to do this, who's going to do that, and why are they here, why are you here, why are you not here, who's going to get the money, who's going to, all of that.
Right.
We
And it's
fight.
totally it is totally like the reason we're here, we have all the tools to get past death, right? Think about
Right.
it. Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth. Basic instructions before leaving earth. So if we stay stuck to the Bible, we stay in
And I
that
love
Bible,
that.
stay in that word, we'll be okay. But the only way I was able to get over the hump was get back to God because I lost my way. God didn't lose his way, I lost my way. Again, basic instructions before leaving earth.
Okay. I
That's the
never heard that
Bible.
before. I like that.
That's the Bible. Everything we need to get through this life and go on to the next life is in the Bible. Life is simple. We as humans make it hard.
Yeah, yeah. I saw a young lady, actually a classmate, had written or put something on Facebook. The loudest sermon is the way you love others. And I reached out to her because I want to do something on that, because I totally think different. I think the loudest sermon is the way that you love yourself,
That's right.
because how you love yourself is how you love others. When you get to a place of peace and understanding and this wisdom that no longer allows you to choose
Right.
you, because you know that you didn't create you. You
That's right.
know that your steps are not ordered by yourself, right? And I think we've gotten caught up in thinking loving ourselves is selfish, but
Mm-hmm.
in return we become selfish, but not in a way that's rewarding to the kingdom.
Exactly.
So we're just walking around fighting ourselves. And like I say, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So if you're fighting you and in denial about it, you're also fighting the world and others and also in denial about it. And who can make choices in that? Who has the ability to discern right from wrong?
That's right.
Imagine you riding by and you see someone, and I see this quite often, more than I should here lately, people fighting themselves. Like people are losing their mental mind.
That's right.
They're losing it. Like I've literally watched people just battling with themselves on the street
Right.
as if they're fighting somebody for real, and
And
they are.
when we think about it, you know, like I said, life is simple. Life is truly simple. All we have to do is follow the instructions. Think about this for a second. And anybody who's familiar with the platform knows that I'm always talking about how I was given instructions and I came back after I expired. I simply followed the instructions I was told to do, all the way down to contacting Tammy. And here we are. I had no idea I was ever going to see Tammy again. I was instructed to call her. So I followed the instruction I was given. That's just like life. That's just like anything that we go through in life. God gives us instructions.
The day we hear his voice, the day we hear his voice. But see, y'all, we can't hear his voice if we're not there and listening.
Let me tell you
We
something.
cannot hear it.
I
Proverbs
got
8 and 34 says, Blessed is the man that heareth me. Blessed is the man
exactly.
that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors. What are you hearing? What are you watching? And where are you waiting? And who are you waiting on?
Exactly.
Because it goes back
Listen
to
up,
what
man.
Trent said, basic instructions before what?
Leaving
Leaving
Earth.
earth.
Man,
Where are you getting your instructions from?
man.
Who are you getting them from? Because if it's for you, baby, it's a wrap.
Mhm.
If I'm getting when I was getting my instructions from myself, I was a mess, thinking I'm blessed, blessed in that way for sure. But so much healing to be done. Was not making wise choices, down to the
Absolutely.
mere fact Trent and I was talking about what we eat, right? For you be so proud, Trent. Last night again, I had zucchini, squash, and carrots.
That's
So
what
I've
I'm
had
talking
them
about.
Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Cooked them every
That's what
night.
I'm talking about.
So and baked fish. I mean baked chicken. Now Sunday I had the baked fish. So down to what I feed my temple, my body.
Mhm.
He that getteth wisdom, this is Proverbs 19 and 8. He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul.
Mm.
Goes back to it, y'all. We don't, I'm gonna
That's
speak for
right.
myself. There was a time where I thought, oh, I love me, I love me, I love me. It sounds good, it looks good as you bounce around your life, right? I didn't
Hmm.
love me. Because if I did, I would have treated myself better. I would have paid attention to God's instructions and not my own. I
Right.
would have stopped trying to keep up with the world, entertaining chaos and chaotic people, trying to fit in where I never should have been in. And with who? Like, I didn't love me. I didn't
That's
love
right.
myself. But it says, He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good. So you can't
Amen.
just get the wisdom. You got to be able to discern it and understand and know God's perfect will for you and go against whatever it is you think. You didn't create
Hmm.
yourself.
That's right.
As the
That's
little
right.
kids say, you're not the owner of you.
At
You're not
all.
the owner of yourself.
At all. At all. But going back to what you said, that was very magnifying, hearing God's voice, right? I want you guys to think about this for a second. when I expired and God appeared, I could hear him, and all I saw was an energy type thing, right? I never saw his face. I just saw energy, right? Can you imagine 7 years later, I'm still living off of the remnants of that encounter and hearing his voice?
Hmm.
That is powerful. Think about that for a second. Everything I do, I am not supposed to be doing according to my physicians. According to my medical team, I am not supposed to be doing the things that I do. Cold dipping at 45, temperature water, you know, walking, damn near jogging, doing
Wow.
laps in a pool, working out.
But God, but God.
My I've changed so much. Alvin have to call and ask me when put a picture up on these social sites. He said, "Man, is that AI?" I said, "Nah, that's the real thing, baby. That's the real thing." So I FaceTime him in real time to show him that AI ain't got nothing to do with that. Ain't nobody but God.
Thought you had AI walking you through the pool.
Exactly. Now he's on the other end of the camera shooting it. He's always videotaping me while I'm doing these things, but he was actually commenting on the pictures and all that stuff that I post, the videos. I'm like, dude, you're the one shooting the video. So how you think it's AI? So,
Big Al.
yeah,
Who? Big Al Sal.
yeah,
Come
yeah.
on now.
I was like, nah, this is the real thing, baby. This is the real thing. But think about that for a second. Just that small encounter, that minimal encounter, and I was sent back. I was sent back, and I'm still on that adrenaline rush. 7 years later, I've been working out 5 days a week for 7 years, all gas, no brakes. That's not me. That's God.
Mm. You know, I truly believe there's something we've heard where, about surrendering your life. Um, there's a certain level of surrendering to God and His will.
Yeah,
Um, it it just doesn't make life look different. It changes you, and so
everything
life
about it.
is different.
Yeah,
Like it changes you to a point, y'all. I cannot say this enough. There are days I feel like I've never met this version of myself. Like I'm a whole new person to the point where I really think sometimes I ought to change my name. Like and then I found out that there is a culture that does that as they transform level to level in growth, not
my name was
financially,
changed.
that
My
they
name was
change
changed.
their name. Hmm?
My name was changed. Tell them, Tan, what's my name?
I can't say that on this. This is the wrong setting for that
Just,
discernment.
just tell them my name.
You tell them your name. I don't know what you call you right now. It depends on the day.
My name is David.
Oh, no, I wasn't gonna say David. Yeah,
What were
but
you
he
gonna
does.
say?
He does call himself David a lot, you guys. I thought you was going back to the days you jumping off the porch into the
Nah,
pool.
and
Okay.
that guy's gone. That guy's
Okay.
gone.
Okay.
I'm
But
David
yeah,
now.
you ought to change so much. Like if people are not, and I'm just gonna put this like it is. If people are not side eyeing you, avoiding you, and anything that fits that mold,
Right.
then you need to do more work
Now I'm gonna have to say this, right? I'm gonna have to say
to
this.
change.
You just brought another thought up in my mind. Once you're transformed, anything that always was against you will conform. I'm a witness to that.
Anything that what?
Anything that was against you will conform.
Give us an example.
Meaning, my brother and I, we've always had conflict. Not our Sal, the other one. We always had conflict. Always. When I say always, from a child, from a baby, Al could be a witness to that. Because him and Greg was always protecting me from him. Always. But now he conformed. He has no other choice because I got somebody bigger than me riding with me. So it's peaceful now.
Okay.
Yeah, we have our hiccups, but he immediately gets back into line, gets back into on track, get back on track. It's not me doing that to him. That's God making him conform because this journey cannot be disrupted. So when
So
you transform and you have purpose, and your journey is filled with divine order, the enemy is going to conform. I can guarantee you that.
I'll say I want to put a different spin on that because one of the things I also think, and not for you guys, but we also have to be careful and not get in this understanding that all things and everybody, because not everything is for you and not everybody is
That's
for you,
true. Let me
right?
clear this up
So
real quick.
those things that are part of those people and those things that are part of your journey and
Right.
you theirs, whether it's for a moment, whether it's for this season or all seasons or next season, that's another thing. We got to stop thinking that everything is forever, because nothing
Right.
is, right?
Right. Let me clear
Nothing
this up
is,
real
but
quick
for
because I
your
don't want this.
relationship with God. Go
I
ahead.
want to clear this up real quick, not to step on you. I don't want people to think that my brother's my enemy. Not by a long shot. He's not my enemy at all. But he has a tendency of aggravating me. Let's just say that. But he's not. He's definitely not my enemy. But go ahead. But he do
Right. And I
confirm.
didn't I didn't think that's what you were saying. I
Yeah.
was more talking about or speaking on you're saying that everything, that once you start transforming, that everything conforms basically or comes together, right?
Yeah. Everything.
Me so but I would say not everything and not everybody, because again, not everything and everybody is part of your journey. So some people leave. And
No,
maybe that's a
I'm not
form of
talking about.
coming together.
I'm not talking about them staying. Whatever. Anything like if they're not supposed to be there,
Okay,
God's gonna
that's what.
remove them.
Yeah, okay, because I didn't want any. Because that's
Yeah.
another form of wisdom to me and discernment is to
Yeah.
stop playing with people, man, and stop playing with yourself. Everybody ain't part of my story, and once you get that, get out of my book.
Yeah. But
Get out of my book.
once
Period.
you once you have your own God, you're not going to even have to make that decision. God's going to do it for you. If that person's disrupting the divine order, it's going to move them. He's
Yeah.
going to move them. Period.
Right, right. Sometimes too, though, for me, and I think it's different because it depends on. For me, I believe you all that one of the most beautiful things about what I see as far as God and my understanding is someone who, like for me, I wasn't the type to just, I kind of just went along, right? To get
Right.
along. I just let it ride so we can glide on through this thing. But in that, I was the dumpster, I was the garbage can. I
Oh
was
wow.
holding on to everybody's stuff, right?
Hmm.
Including mine. But mine was at the bottom, under the bottom. And that destroyed me, right? In many, many, many ways. Whereas now, oh, you got something to dump. Let me put the top on. Let me see what's in that. What you get ready to put in here.
Exactly.
What are
You
you
know.
trying to dump inside of me? Because we're not doing that anymore.
Right. I wrote this quote many years ago. Um, it's funny that you would bring that dumpster up. I wrote this quote many years ago, and it reads, "My dumpster is full. Please place your baggage elsewhere." Again, my dumpster is full. Please place your baggage elsewhere. You
Right.
know,
So what I'm saying is I believe God turns us individually inside out based on who
yeah,
we have conformed to outside of his will.
I
So if
get
you
it.
were one that always blow up and da 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 da, then God wants to know, can I just quiet you down?
Hmm.
Right? Can I get you to let some things go a little bit balanced? Whereas I let too much go. So for me, I feel like God's saying, can I get you to speak up a little bit? Can I get you to go in there and turn some tables over for
Hmm.
me?
I
Just
get
to
it.
know, number one, do you hear my voice? And then do
Right.
you understand? And do you have the ability to go do what I said? Whether it's sit down and be quiet, go make some noise, my daughter.
Mm.
So
So let's get to the comments real quick. We didn't get to you know what? I have the opportunity to say what Tammy
it's
said to me
funny.
last week. I didn't even get to my scripture because she was talking too much.
I didn't fully get into mine. I got all these
I'm
notes and
just
they're just
teasing.
sitting
I'm
here.
teasing. I'm teasing. This is a good one, man. This is a good one.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a 6:30 hour here. Um,
yeah.
driving
Thank
to
you, Big
Detroit.
Al. I think that's all we have with us today. Candy is not here. Tasha's not here. Some of the regulars.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So,
Cool.
Big Al Sal, thank you for vibing with us this morning.
Outside ready for that gym this morning. I'll see him at the gym.
Cool
That's good
beans.
stuff. Real good
Cool
stuff.
beans.
Real good stuff, man. Yeah, man. This as always. I look forward to Wednesday morning. Um, doing these podcasts with my lovely, beautiful host, the Butterfly Tammy Gator. We got something special coming up. I'm not gonna make no announcements here, but let's just say November 7th is gonna be the return of all things good.
So, we will announce that next Wednesday for sure. So that y'all can start
Are you
preparing
sure? Because
positive.
that is not gonna be anything changing up. Are you sure?
No, I'm done changing it. I'm done.
So it's gonna be a beautiful thing. The 7th is gonna be the renewal of everything. Let's just say that.
We also got something else coming that you probably should talk a little bit about the
Yeah, yeah,
webinar.
yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna be doing a TED talk. Tammy's gonna be should I say narrating it or hosting it?
moderating.
Moderating the TED talk, stroke awareness. We'll be talking everything from bleed on the brain to strokes, all that stuff. Very soon, very soon, and we encourage you guys to come back to the platform. We got to set the funnel situation up where there's a subscription for it, where you guys could actually get the entire um, TED talk. So it's going to be phenomenal. I'll talk about everything there is to talk about with strokes and bleeds and all that stuff. And that's to help people with different abilities. That's to help people in general, because there's a misconception about strokes. There's a huge misconception. And I got to thinking about that when Michael visited me a couple of weeks ago. He was like, "How long are you going to have to do this?" It's like, "What are you talking about? Working out like you're working out. This is my life. This is my lifestyle. This is my new normal." And a ton of people don't know that. They don't know that you have to continuously work out. So when I say I work out 5 days a week, that's not me bragging. That's not me poking my chest out. That's
Mhm.
something I have to do. It's imperative that I do it. Because if I say stagnant, it's back to the wheelchair for me, and that's not going to happen for me. I
Mhm.
refuse to lose. So I'm going to do that, and that's part of my journey. That's part of my instructions to burn that trail and set it afire so someone else can find their way that's coming behind me. That's part of my
Mm.
instructions. So yeah. So Tammy's this is
Glory to
all
God.
Tammy's idea, by the way. This is why she was important to this journey. This is why the divine asked me to contact her. Because I had no intentions on podcasting again. It's because of her I'm doing this. Because I forgot about a lot of that stuff, and here I am doing it again in this condition. So she's a major component of my life. Go ahead, Tam.
God, I mean, but God, I say, but God. And it goes back to what you said, the basic instructions before leaving
Leaving
Earth.
Earth. Yeah.
So, what are you hearing? Where are you? What are you watching? And where are you waiting? And who are you waiting on? And one of the most, as we close, not one, the most important relationship you will ever encounter is your relationship with the Father, right?
Yeah.
And as some people say, the greatest sermon you will teach or live or whatever is the way you love others. I I I I I, I don't agree. It is how you love yourself. And if you read your word will say, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And we're
That's right.
missing the mark because you love you, as this verse says, he that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good. You got to understand what wisdom means, what the will of God means. And you got to have a relationship with God that encourages you to choose his will over yours. That is loving, right? That is loving your soul. That is understanding.
That's right.
So,
And it's wisdom. So, hey, man, we appreciate you guys. As always, if you missed the episode or you missed this episode, head on over to the platform on all DSPs, um, Apple, Amazon Music, Spotify, YouTube, all that good stuff, man. Subscribe, subscribe. This is how we keep on bringing you guys the phenomenal episodes that we do. This is not for free. We pay for this stuff. So subscribe to the channel, the Taylor Kennedy channel, Wisdom Wednesdays, Conversation in Prime Time with DJ Slash, and Conversation with Trent Friends. So subscribe. I'm trying to get Tammy to do this thing so we can focus on her journey. Because I don't want to keep on talking about my journey. Everybody knows my journey. I want to talk about her phenomenal story and what got her to this mark. Because if this didn't happen to her, we wouldn't be here. We definitely wouldn't be here. So,
what do you mean?
meaning, like, you are different. You're completely different, and I want people to know why you're
I would
different.
be here, but I'll be here a whole mess.
That's my point.
And I'm just a little bit.
So when I called you and said that the divine asked me to call you, he was very receptive,
Oh.
and he was like, "Okay, come on." There was no pushback. So can you imagine if you were in a different mindset that this wouldn't have happened? So your journey is intertwined with mine for a reason, on purpose, for a purpose.
Yeah, because it takes a lot to deal. At Big Al, I'm sure you know, it takes a lot to deal with this one right here. Like he wrecked my nerves sometimes so bad, it's just like this morning. I just tell you, I'm getting ready to be on. He called again. Am I in the wrong? It takes a lot, right, Big Al? It takes a lot.
I love you big, though. I love you
It
big.
takes a lot.
So until next Wednesday, we truly appreciate you guys. Again, subscribe to this wonderful, wonderful platform, and this is this is my highlight of the week. I'm always looking forward to Wednesdays, man, because this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So,
Did you see that? Look,
what's that?
I'm playing around today.
Yeah, I
You
saw
just
that.
see?
I saw that thing moving across the screen. That was fun. That was good. I like that.
I know, you see that?
Yeah, it was cool. Real cool.
All right, y'all go be great. Go build your relationship with the Father.
The
And then
cold
go
dip
live
is
that thing
calling
out
me.
loud.
The cold dip is calling me.
All right. Go do your code dip. Y'all be great. Till next Wednesday. Hey, go do it. Live life.